Hey, welcome back to the Artie Lange Show. Real excited to have our first guest here, guys. He's an amazing guitarist. Worked with Ozzy Osbourne for 20 years. Got a new album out called Catacombs of the Black Vatican, which is a great name. That is a great metal name, like Catacombs of the Black Vatican. It's due out April 8th, and he's no joke, man. He's one of the best guitarists around. And according to John, the best. Zakk Wylde.
I tell the wife that every time before we're about to have relations.
Yeah.
And every time we wake up in the morning, I just look at her. She looks back at me, and I go, "You're the lucky winner." And then
the lucky winner.
Now, talking about Father A-Rod over here, in the back room listening to the show. I just want to introduce you a little thing we have, because record sales aren't what they used to be. You know,
right.
Downloading it. So you do other things outside of that,
Sure.
This is Black Label half and half induced steroids. It was also stacked with 15 milligrams of Viagra.
Oh, good. All right. I need that.
But also, it's undetectable. Just to let you know.
I get tested after every show.
Okay, now wait.
So I'm trusting you.
No, that's one of the reasons why I'm here as well. Because I'm going to act as your attorney. But anyways, but the thing is this. We were just talking about the A-Rod thing. I go at this. I go, all right, everybody's on about, the roids this, roids that. I just go, all right, do you have any, all right, we represent A-Rod.
Right.
I go, all right, do you have any evidence that our guy is on, where do you have this he say, she say?
Besides this Bosch guy.
And this other clown, you should have, I don't know who that tool is, but it's just like, he did roids, or you injected him with steroids. What else is this when you were also involved with the OJ murder incident and all this stuff? It's just like, it's just like, all right, well, forget about this Bosch guy anyways, but it's just like, all right, what proof do you have that my guy did steroids? And
that's a good point.
I go, he'll take a blood test right now, a urine test and a hair sample, and then that comes back clean. And it's like, all right, so he's not on anything. All right, so then it's just like, all right, well, we heard from 2003 to 2006 he was doing steroids. All right, once again, do you have any of his blood work from that?
Right.
No, we don't. Do you have any hair samples? No, we don't. Do you have any urine samples? No, we don't. I go, so what are we talking about here?
You're talking about one guy's word.
You're talking about him robbing a liquor store or something. It's like, well, he kind of looked like A-Rod. Well, what is that? You have zero evidence that my client did steroids.
So it's just about that it's that guy. It's the big guy. A-Rod. They want to get him.
But let him go take a blood test right now.
Right.
He's got nothing in him.
You know what's funny? People are giving you're arguing A-Rod's, but that's exactly what he's saying, and it's a good point. But they're choosing to believe this Bosch guy. Based on this Bosch guy, Ryan Braun said, okay, I'll take the suspension. A-Rod already came out originally and just said, no, we were doing it. It was like Keystone Cops. We didn't even know what we were doing. Right.
And he goes, I noticed, my bench press didn't go up. I wasn't hitting the ball any further. Nothing was going up. I was just like, what am I taking this stuff for?
Yeah.
He goes, but I'll be honest with you, I did take it. And that was the year they won the World Series.
Right.
So I was just laughing, going, McGuire and Sosa should have just done the same thing.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, we did roids, and you know what? We stopped doing them because, I noticed it really wasn't doing anything for me because maybe, obviously, I was doing it wrong.
Right.
Or maybe the stuff I was taking was garbage.
It's complicated, man. It really is.
No, to me, it isn't complicated at all. It's just like if you don't have any blood work on my guy, that there was steroids in his system, then all it is you just saying a whole bunch of garbage.
Yeah. Well, that's what they're doing, and they're not going to stop saying it either.
Yeah, he's going to appeal
at this point, do you think he should let it die, A-Rod, or should keep going?
First off, I would be like, how am I getting suspended for something you're accusing me of that you have no proof that I did?
Right. That's what he's doing, basically. He's not going to stop saying
You have zero proof. You have zero proof. Where's the needle with the DNA of me doing steroids?
Right.
Oh, you don't have that, do you? Right. You don't have the blood tests. You don't have any hair samples.
What about text messages with this Bosch guy?
Well, then you got the other ridiculous text messages with the Miami Dolphin thing. With two buddies and teammates just talking about a bunch of stuff like that's nobody's business anyway. That's private business, man. Between two guys and the teammates and all that stuff. So that's ridiculous. If you were to see the text that the guys in the band send me.
No, I know. Listen, I have texts from famous people.
You blow. Exactly.
I know, you're right. And those things don't go away. They stay around forever. Well, we'll see what happens. It's entertaining, at least. What about that? I know you're a big football fan because we were in the fantasy football league together.
Oh, yes. And we went, actually that was our first year. And all I remember is everyone was looking at our picks and everything like that. And it was just like.
You were great, man. You came in like the guy, he's a heavy metal guitarist. He's not going to know anything. And you pick a great team. And you've been a football fan forever.
No, without a doubt. So, but it's just, No, but we ended up, because the Miz had the trophy and everything like that.
Right,
so
right.
yeah, we ended up. We never got to see the trophy though.
Really?
So, yeah, no, I never. I mean, that was the whole prize.
lame.
Joy was to get that trophy.
No one's in it
I
for
mean?
the money at that point.
No, I was in it for the trophy, but we did get the $5,000 and we gave it to St. Jude. So that was
that's cool.
Yeah, so it all panned
Now,
out.
you have a favorite team?
I'm a New York Giant guy. So Yankee
So
guy.
they
Giant
had a
guy, so-
rough year, but I mean, what do you think of the games now? You rooting for anybody in particular still in it now?
Yeah, I mean, the Giants. I mean, without an offensive line, it doesn't matter. It
was a bad year.
You think Eli just goes from a 2-time Super Bowl MVP? You take Roger Staubach, and he's going to go to a horrendous quarterback. And dude, if you can't block, you can't throw the ball.
Yeah, that was
You know,
it was hard to watch.
Without an offensive line, you can't run.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just saying there's a big difference between Emmitt Smith and that Dallas offensive line and what Barry Sanders had.
I could have rushed. I could have rushed for 1,000 yards with that off the Dallas line.
Well, no, I mean, there's no denying Emmitt's talent and him being the Hall of Famer that he is. But I'm just saying, with Walter Payton, I mean, it's not like he had an offensive line for, I mean, none of these guys do. I mean, or Emmett, even in the beginning of Dallas, he didn't have an offensive line.
I love Walter Payton.
But if you don't have, they're all amazing, man. Yeah. But I mean, it's just like, yeah, but without it, like you said, John Madden always says, everybody says it all starts with an offensive line. It really does. If the quarterback doesn't have any time to throw a ball, then you're done.
It's the most like sort of like rewardless job in sports, an offensive lineman. It's so important, and you don't know what these guys look like. They're not famous. They make the least amount of money, and their bodies get beat up so much, and then they're just kind of tossed to the heap after their careers. It really is thankless.
A lot of them work at Chippendales right after the thing.
Yeah.
Nate Newton is over at Chippendale.
Exactly.
So let's talk a little bit about I want to talk about the Ozzy Osbourne documentary on Showtime. I don't know if you've seen it. But, obviously, you're in it.
Oh, God bless Oz.
I got to tell you, man. So how do you get involved with Ozzy Osbourne? How does that relationship start?
The best is, because you just get tired of saying the bio, you know what I mean?
Right.
Then I just started telling people, it's just like, well, no, I used to be Ozzy's drug dealer, and it's just,
It's believable.
Oz was just like, wow, he goes, I didn't know you could play guitar. I said, either did I. And then he's just like, I said, I can give you half off on the stuff, And he was just like, all right, you're in.
He's always looking for a bargain.
Weren't you listening to Howard Stern when you heard about it?
No, my wife Barbara Ann. This is back when we was just dating, but it was just she heard like Oz was on Howard Stern,
right?
And going, I'm looking for a guitar players after Jake left, and it was just like, oh yeah, well, how am I going to make that happen? It's just like getting you a walk-on for the Oakland Raiders.
Right. Wow.
Who do we know?
Well, this is
I mean, and
you
never go into college, So
2
it's
years
like,
after high school. So you're 20 years old.
Yeah, I was 19 when I got the audition. So it was like, right out of high school, I went to Ozzy Osbourne University, and and let the Animal House, let Delta begin. Because the best was when I get over there with the hospital we were auditioning. It was just we started writing over in England. And Sharon, so I call her mom, because she's been like my mother since I've been 19, right? So I go, she calls Barbara Ann up. She goes, Barbara Ann? She goes, yes, Mrs. Osborne. She goes, does Zackie have a drinking problem? She goes, oh, no, he's usually drinking milk and everything. He doesn't touch it. She goes, well, he does now. Because I was the only one that would hang with the boss.
Of course.
No one else would hang with him.
That's probably what he was.
And I remember Bobby Townsend, bless his soul. Bobby's with Oz since like late 70s, known Oz, but Skinner would tour and Sabbath would tour. They'd always end up, and everybody knows everybody.
Right.
So it just, and then he started with Oz when he started with Randy and everything like that. So he's been with Oz forever. He's part of the furniture, the family, the whole 9 yards. And Bobby's Scottish. He's just like, Zackie, I'd room with PT and stuff like that. When I first started, he goes, Zackie, you don't understand. You don't understand. I was like, man, Bobby, it's so not cool, man. Why doesn't anyone want to hang out with Oz? I'll hang out with Oz, man. So we'd be drinking all the time. He just goes, but you don't understand, Zackie. He's tangling you into his web. Stay out of the web. You gotta say, because what Oz would do.
Not bad advice.
No, the best what he would do is, like if we were all out saucing it up and getting berserking and getting blasted, old Oakland Raiders 70s style.
Nice.
What he would
That's
do
the way to do it.
Exactly. But, we'd answer the bell the next day. So, I mean, but the whole thing is drinking like Navy SEALs, answering the bell like Navy SEALs. So the whole thing is, it's just like, but Oz was always the best because he'd just go, hi, Zackie, could we talk or whatever? And the whole thing would be like, what happened? And he just goes, well, I knew you were out drinking with Ozzy, or, like whatever, if any of us were out drinking. I know, John, and Artie were out drinking with Ozzy last. I go, well, we were the only ones with him at McSorley's. How could anyone know? And it's like, Ghost's mom would go, where were you out getting blasted? I was with Zachy and John and Artie. So he'd throw us under the bus.
Oh, my God. Sharon knows everything.
Yeah, no, we'd go, boss, what are you doing to us?
She brought me into a web.
You're killing us.
We got to take a break. Back with more of the great Zakk Wylde after this. Welcome back to the Artie Lange Show. Zakk Wylde is here. Yeah, we're talking everything. Sports, Ozzy, partying with Ozzy.
Partying Viagra, the whole 9 yards of steroid-induced Viagra, half and half.
It's a good product.
It's wonderful and undetectable. That's the key seller.
So 20 years on the road with Ozzy. So you get this job at that young age, man. It went from hearing it on the radio to getting the job. I mean, that's got to be insane, right?
Yeah, without a doubt. I mean, put it this way: if I was, being a New York Yankee fan,
right,
and being a Thurman Munson guy,
me too,
and then I'm playing catcher for the Yankees.
Yeah.
So I'm standing in the same spot where my heroes stand.
Dream job.
Well, because I'm a Randy Rhoads guy. So,
yeah, Randy Rhoads, unbelievable. No. John, go ahead. I know you want to.
Yeah, without a doubt, Randy. Well, that's why, being an Ozzy guitar player, that's why I always call it's the house that Rhoads built.
Right.
Yeah. Which is the truth.
He was they said in the documentary. You forget those riffs, Crazy Train, all that stuff. It's like
Oh, it's just everything he brought to the table, and he created the Ozzy sound.
Right.
Ozzy and Randy. That's a sound. So that's a template. So that's how you play Yankee baseball. You know what I mean? So it just so all the guys coming in after that, that's what's expected out of you. Yeah. So
Well, you delivered. You delivered, my friend.
And he was Ozzy's best friend too. Right?
Yeah, they were tight in the whole
really
9 yards.
close.
So yeah, without a doubt. So it wasn't just like a hired guy. You know what I mean? So that whole band, that original band, it was those two albums are just absolute classics.
Blizzard of Oz and Diary of a Madman. Yeah.
But when you're the guy,
the Jake stuff I love too, though, man. Jake's amazing as well.
But you were writing all the music.
Yeah, well, that's the guitar players. That's your job.
Wow.
And the albums
aside of doing laundry, dishes, and and obviously you got to make Oz the ham sandwich and go light on the mustard. But I mean, aside of that,
but that's real creativity, man.
The albums that he was playing, I mean, they're the best albums.
Wow.
The ones that were the most successful albums, which is amazing. And Black Label Society, that's your thing.
Yeah,
you said 25/8 now.
Yeah, without a doubt. I mean, well, because it's just like how with Jimmy Page, Led Zeppelin is his baby. That's his whole thing. That's his life. So
right.
I'm just saying. So like when I wake up in the morning before my feet hit the floor, and I make sure I'm still breathing after the 150 grams of Viagra. So I make sure my heart's slowed down a little bit. I'll just look at my Black Label, list of domination and things to do. You know what I mean? So it's just like all day long. There's without a doubt, there's something in Black Label I can do. Whether and obviously I get up in the morning, and I start doing running scales in the morning. Just practice first thing I get up.
Right.
Have some ball
every day.
Every day.
Scales.
Yep. Just get up and it's part of what you do. You take a leak.
Could you
do and then just start.
Could you live without that
scales.
rush in life? You think without the performing and the.
Well, no, because we always call it. You got lifers, and a lifer it's who you playing music. It's what completes you.
Right.
So being a football player, what I'm just saying is, you played, you banged up your knee. It's done. It's just like, but Zakk, I still love being around the game.
Yeah.
So now you're either, whether you're coaching, whether you're involved in the draft. I own a team. I'm like, John, I'm going to make you the GM. You know what I mean? So and collectively, you and Artie are involved in the trades, the drafts, that's just as exciting as when you were playing.
See,
because now it's just it's a next phase.
You get to see that's the tough thing with an athlete like John. That you have to stop the actual play.
No, but the actual play. I'm saying, but being involved with the game,
right,
and being around it is still just a rush. Because I'm telling you right now, don't think that John Elway isn't getting a rush. Being and making sure that we're going to get that trade. We're going to get Peyton Manning. We need.
He made the right decision.
The best was and God bless Father Tebow over there. I love him, man, because he's the best. He's an awesome Catholic. So the whole thing is, he is, man. He's the real deal. He's a genuine article. But I mean, the whole thing is, when he won that game, when they beat the Steelers, you see Father always standing up going, what am I going to do with this guy? No, because he goes,
he knows
as
football.
much as he wants to get rid of him, he's winning. So he was just like clapping, they're just like, dude, we just won. We're in the playoffs. It's just like, he's like, I know. Like he's sad.
That's the thing. The only way they were going to be able to get rid of him is if they got Peyton Manning.
And I said to everybody, I said that when I was looking at Denver, when they had Tim there, I just go, you know what everyone forgets, what no one's realizing here? In order for Father Tebow to have these Catholic miracle endings that are going on, that defense is keeping them in the game, because they would go 3 and out, 3 and out, 3 and out, 3 and out until the last 3 minutes of the game. And so the defense had to stop the other team the whole game. I go, that's what everybody. So I just looked. I go, man, if they have, and then, John Elway was just doing the math, going, dude, if we had Peyton Manning or Drew Brees or Captain America Brady over here, or any Aaron Rodgers quarterback in this team, it's lights out, man. And look at how successful they are.
No, you're right. Elway proved. And that's the high you keep going.
I think Elway, he's getting a high now just off on that, because if he gets a ring with this team, I think he's going to feel just as responsible as when he was on the field.
Yeah, that rush will come back. Got to take another break. Back with Zakk Wylde after this. Welcome back to the Artie Lange Show. Zakk Wylde is here, and we're talking Omaha. We're talking. It's great about Zakk. You can talk football all day too. John is explaining the Omaha thing with Peyton Manning. Say what you just said.
I'm pretty sure it means first down, like when he's changing a play at the line of scrimmage.
Yeah,
he wants to remind everyone. Like let's say they break the huddle, it's on 1.
Right.
And then he ends up doing all this play changing at the line of scrimmage. The play clock's running down. He wants to communicate that it's on first down now.
Right.
To his teammates. So Omaha, that means after that, the first down he makes.
You snap it. And he doesn't care that the defense knows that. It doesn't matter. Right. No. Okay. That's what I was thinking.
I mean, he can always change that up too. That you could make Omaha a dummy call some games too.
Right.
I mean, I'm sure he does a lot of toying around with people's minds like that.
Right. Well, if you're on his team, though, you got to know what's going on.
Yeah.
I mean,
well, he keeps you sharp.
Yeah.
So you said that you played football. Obviously.
Yeah, clearly.
You're a big guy, which is such a weird thing.
When I first joined Ozzy, though, I had a 27-inch waist, and I was about 140.
Yeah.
140.
Wow.
Yeah.
Really?
So everyone's under the impression I'm juicing, but I'm using the Black Label half and half cream.
Yeah.
So, but it's just between lifting and not only that, it's like 20 years of lifting. But I mean, the whole thing is, when I played, the funniest thing was. Because my real name is Violent. That's my last name, right?
Oh, okay.
So I was a middle linebacker, so I was Violent. And then you had our nose tackle was my buddy Rodney Miller, so it was Killer Miller and Violent.
Yeah.
So, no, but I mean, but my coaches in Pop Warner and everything, but because I always say, even the things that they taught, I'm saying even at that age, when you have cool teachers and stuff like that, which you carry for the rest of your life.
Right.
Yeah. I'm just saying I'm just saying the toughness and everything like that you. As a kid, I'm saying with your coaches, and I'm just, and it was everything was always positive, what I mean? Yeah. But the whole thing is, like, I still, the whole strength, determination, merciless forever stuff, the whole SDMF stuff, but it's still that, that World War II mentality, and it's just like, my dad's just like, after World War II, D-Day, Omaha Beach, the whole thing, you get home and just like, oh, do you want to talk about your feelings? Go see a psychiatrist. My dad, that meant that generation was like, feelings? I got to get a job. I don't have time to talk about this.
It really did change. Like, people started whining in about 1962. Everybody started whining about
I was like, I don't have time for a psychiatrist. I got to go to work.
I got to get a job.
But yeah, it's just fun. But I mean, without a doubt, Pop Warner was awesome. But then, like, when I joined high school, that's when I started getting serious about guitar.
We're going to take a break. Zakk agreed to stick around another segment for us, and back after this.
The Artie Lange Show, weeknights on Audience, only on DirecTV.